It has been an eventful year on the internet and on YouTube alike. Like just the other day, we had Elon Musk buying Fortnite and then deleting it to, quote, save these kids from eternal virginity. And this might seem like a fake article at first, but Elon Musk's official Twitter account tweeted out saying, had to be done, you're welcome. And then followed a thread of Elon Musk beefing with the actual Fortnite Twitter account. Anyways, this piece of comedic Elon Musk related reality aside, we have had much bigger forces at work on YouTube that have been dominating the minds of people from around the world. And this thing is what can only be considered by some as a force of nature. T-Series. For those of you who don't know, T-Series is an Indian YouTube channel, and according to their channel description, they are India's largest music label and movie studio, all in one. So if you need some kind of comparison, imagine all the subs across every Vivo channel on YouTube, and then take all the subs on every movie trailer channel on YouTube that we have either in America or in the West, and then if you were to shove all of those subscribers into one channel, you'd probably have something like T-Series. And if you really are this uneducated that by now you don't know how big they are, then you probably don't understand the threat that is looming with the existence of this channel. You might be thinking that it's just another one of those corporate channels that has a bunch of subs. Why is it even important, Kwite? And bitch, if you are really asking these questions, then I will tell you why, Porkchop. As of me writing this video, T-Series sits at about 66.5 million subscribers. And by the time that this video goes up, it's very likely that they will have amassed a couple 100,000 more subscribers than that. And this makes them DEFCON 1 levels of dangerous, because they are quickly approaching the size of one Felix Kjellberg, PewDiePie. And if you didn't know who T-Series was, then I'm guessing you also don't know who PewDiePie is. Because in recent history, they have been interlocked in an endless clash of deities, where T-Series is about to usurp Felix as the #1 most subscribed YouTuber on the entire platform. At the rate T-Series is growing, they pose the most immediate threat to PewDiePie's kingship that has ever been seen. At over 100,000 new subs every day, it's very likely that it's only a number of weeks, perhaps a number of days, before PewDiePie's long reign as the #1 YouTube channel comes to an end. But I, and many others, refuse to take this premise lying down. This PewDiePie versus T-Series skirmish has evolved from just a simple battle between two channels to an all-out YouTube civil war. And out of this war, two sides have emerged. The virgin T-Series supporters and the Chad 9-year-old bro army. Supporting T-Series, you have the likes of one Pyrocynical, who until recently was a friend of mine. His support of T-Series was rumored after he had the thumbnail and title of a video he made on the T-Series situation a while back get stolen by PewDiePie. And it's unfortunate that this has turned him, but his loyalty to India was recently confirmed on Twitter. Pyrocynical posted an image of him squatting and holding a gun next to two other armed individuals. And the image was captioned, "We're coming for you, PewDiePie," in very clear reference to his new alliance with T-Series and the entire population of the subcontinent of India. Jax Films, of course, was also found to be on the side of T-Series. After his complicated history with Felix, it isn't hard to see why he found himself allied against him. And it's really hard for me that these two people I used to look up to greatly now have Indian citizenship because of T-Series. But what I think hurts the most about this is that because of my association with people like Pyrocynical, my loyalty to PewDiePie has been called into question, and I will not stand for it. While it was difficult for me to see my former friends go, to know that one day I may have to face them on opposite ends of the battlefield, I knew that at the end of the day, I had to do what I knew was right. And my loyalty to PewDiePie did not waver. This YouTube civil war is turning brother against brother. But if that's what it takes to ensure justice, then so be it. And just like you and me, PewDiePie isn't accepting this whole situation without first putting up a fight either. As I mentioned, he created a video talking about how T-Series would overtake him that he stole the thumbnail and title from a Pyrocynical video for. He's made several other videos concerning T-Series, all of which have worked to combat the channel in some way, but there is one thing he's done in particular that seems to have been the most effective in getting views and bringing attention to the phenomena. And this comes in the form of a diss track entitled Bitch Lasagna, where PewDiePie goes the fuck off on T-Series. And perhaps more importantly, it ousted another significant enemy that we have to face and who had been maintaining a lie of being on our side until now. Anthony Fantano. Fantano, or the Needle Drop as his main channel is known as, is most closely associated with PewDiePie for originally going back in time to steal the meme review series from Felix, though eventually he had to shut it down due to public pressure. So suspicion of his collusion with T-Series was already something that had arisen in the heads of many of us, and this theory was only strengthened with one of Fantano's actions in the future, very soon after the diss track dropped. Though, unlike Pyrocynical, it wasn't because he came out about it himself, but rather because he tried to be subtle, and he slipped up. In the week that PewDiePie released Bitch Lasagna, Anthony included the track in his weekly track roundup. But like the slime he he included the track in the worst tracks of the week, clearly to try and push public opinion against PewDiePie, trying to serve his masters at T-Series subtly, without giving away his own position. But we saw right through it, Anthony. You can't fool us. But while T-Series may have powerful allies on their side, we are not without ours. The obvious one, as it stands, is that, as of now, PewDiePie still has some time before he is no longer the #1 YouTuber. And until then, we still have the #1 channel on our side. But aside from Felix, we also have the likes of Mr. Beast, who has been taking to the streets to aggressively campaign for the general populace of America to subscribe to PewDiePie in order to stop T-Series, so that we as a nation may rise up in order to combat India's hostile takeover of our meme compilation network, so that this land can stay ours to give to our children and those after them. What we need to do is to take action and initiative like Mr. Beast has. We need to spread the word that PewDiePie needs our help to beat the evil and malicious T-Series. And a good place to start, I think, would be to analyze what Mr. Beast has been doing that's been so effective at raising awareness. The first instance I could find of him taking action was on Instagram, where he posted a picture of a truck with digital screens on it. They had PewDiePie's name and brand plastered all over it, and Mr. Beast's instructions on the whole thing were as follows. I paid a company to drive a truck with this on it all day. T-Series is done for. Doing even more digging though, it looks like he's been doing more than just plastering Felix's face on trucks. On Twitter, he's also been putting out calls to action to subscribe to PewDiePie directly. If we look into his replies, there was a single reply he sent to Grande's Twitter that caught me by surprise, and it was a set of whistling emojis. Even more baffling though was what it was that he was replying to with those emojis. And it was a tweet that Grande had made saying, "Okay, this is epic." And attached to that tweet was an image of a billboard that read, "Calling all bros, you can save YouTube. Subscribe to PewDiePie, unsubscribe from T-Series." It also said subscribe to Grande, but we don't really care about that one much, do we? But anyways, these whistles from Mr. Beast make me think that he had a hand in that billboard. Mr. Beast's efforts are most definitely honorable, but on their own, they just aren't enough. They will require us to take action on what they ask of us, and we must also work to spread even further awareness. This has only become more imperative because of what another one of our allies, if a tentative one, MatPat, has managed to uncover about what has caused the unprecedented rise of T-Series. In his video, Game Theory, How PewDiePie Lost YouTube to T-Series, he reveals how the very establishment of YouTube itself is working to dethrone PewDiePie in accordance with T-Series, while at the same time trying to raise T-Series, an Indian YouTube channel, to the spot of #1 in order to gain a foothold in the growing technological and internet market in India. The implications of this will affect us on a scale hitherto undreamt of. Did you get that reference? The YouTube conspiracy against PewDiePie is only supported further by them still releasing the other disgraced YouTuber, Logan Paul's YouTube Red content, even after he was kicked off the Preferred Creators program. But yet they still refuse to release Scare PewDiePie Season 2. Because of this, it's become more important for us to take action than ever. And so, I started putting together a game plan and a list of things we can do to spread our message to every corner of our borders and beyond. In one last attempt to stop the oncoming menace of T-Series. The odds are pretty poop, I'm not gonna lie, but we have to try. The first thing we need to do to execute this plan is expand on what Mr. Beast and others are already doing. We need to take to the streets. Not literally, of course, because walking is a lot of work, but we need to organize into a more cohesive unit so that we can work together more efficiently. Imagine it. Millions of us stood side by side in solidarity, all together in our opposition against T-Series, led into battle by the hero PewDiePie and its top commanding generals. In order to coalesce, we're going to need to do our campaigning in the circles that matter, and we can find lots of this in some of the places that PewDiePie originally managed to gain his status from, in video games. An example of what we can be doing is hopping into Call of Duty and Fortnite and Overwatch games and warning everybody through game chat and voice chat that T-Series is gaining on PewDiePie, and that as gamers of America and beyond, we must unite to defeat the Scourge. T-Series has the entire population of India on their side, so we are fighting an uphill battle. But after we get everybody that we can locally on our side, we then move on to phase 2 of the plan. Infiltration of the enemy. We can tap into that same vast market that T-Series themselves are making use of. And to do that, we need to insert PewDiePie into the pop and social culture of all of India. But how do we do that? Aggressive and rampant propaganda, of course. We make sure that PewDiePie ads are being run on every single T-Series video that is ever watched, so that every single one of those YouTubers who watch T-Series also find out who PewDiePie is. Next, we have to make sure that wherever you go in India, that you can't escape the sight of PewDiePie in your day-to-day life either. Just like Mr. Beast did at home here, we need to spread the word in real life in India as well, but we need to take it even a step further. We need to buy out every single billboard in India and plaster PewDiePie's name, face, and channel URL on it. And also my channel, because I want subs too. We need to make PewDiePie the new T-Series before T-Series can become the new PewDiePie. Now this isn't going to be easy. It's It's going to take lots of resources, at least 5 piggy banks worth of quarters. So we're gonna need investors. How do we get those? I have no fucking clue. Like I said, this plan is a work in progress, but we don't have to figure it out alone. We have each other. So be sure to leave your guys' plans to get investors and to stop T-Series in the comments below. Anyways, I'm gonna wrap this video up here. If you guys enjoyed, be sure to drop a like, and if you're new, subscribe. If you want to support the channel a little more directly, you can click that join button next to the subscribe button. You can donate $5 a month to get things like custom badges and custom emotes. It's totally optional, but it helps out the channel and it's much appreciated. Yeah, make sure you leave those plans to stop T-Series in the comments. I have a podcast with Wild Spartans and FPS Diesel called Loudmouse. We upload 2 new episodes every week, and we're up on iTunes, SoundCloud, and YouTube. You can follow me on Twitter at Kwite and on Instagram at Kwite.png. Links to both of those in the description as well. And lastly, I also have a Discord server. Link to that in the description as well if you're interested. Anyways, this has been Kwite, and together we will defeat T-Series.